Hey guys, welcome back. What fun, huh? That whole test was. I was about to say Lords. My God, Lords ka hang up hai abhi. So today, as you can see, our friend Abhishek Ghosh, he's worn green. I don't know if he's doing that to impress his Savera from Pakistan or I don't know. You can see I'm wearing blue because Asito Indian hai. So let's get started. Good to have our own Mr. Jarvo back, Rohan, the Jarvo lookalike. I know that Jarvo crashed into the game and created a lot of flutter. So we'll talk about him also. And today's thing, we're not going to keep it all boring. We will try to talk about fun stuff like Mr. Shastri getting infected with COVID. I have my own conspiracy theory about how come he got infected and none of the players. So there's a bunch of stuff we want to talk about. But first, the serious stuff, the match. Since I'm starting the call, like in childhood days when people played cricket, the guy who has the bat also gets to do the batting first, right? So I'm starting, so I will get started, okay? I want to take a cue from Rohan's last, the last show where he spoke about that famous up and down. As far as I can remember, maybe Abhishek can help correct this. There were at least 6 to 8 ups and downs within this match. Forget the series. So Abhishek, do you want to just quickly wrap that up for us in terms of the ups and downs that you saw in the match?
Of course. I mean, this was. There was a hashtag floating around. It's a yo-yo test or something. Okay, this was supposed to be the yo-yo test. I initially didn't know what it meant. I thought it was that yo-yo test which they take up in the as a fitness test. But of course, we all know it. First day, 127 for 7 to 191. That swung the match a bit. That saved sort of a face saver. Then England collapsing to 62 for 5 and then recovering to make 290. Then India slipping down, India going up to 270 for 3 and totally threatening to take the game away, and then suddenly brought down to 296 for 6. And that time it seems that England would chase maximum 220, 230. And then after that, Shardul just took the game apart at 466. And then again, on the fourth day, England ended up at 77 for no loss. And then at lunch, 131 for 2, game on. 2 sessions left. We were all thinking of a dream chase of 368, but well, the game, that 6 over spell, and the rest is history. That was the end of the yo-yo, that 6 over spell.
I have decided that from henceforth, the only way I'm going to assess if somebody is a true Test cricket fan or not is I'm just going to ask that person 6362. What is it? Only a real cricket fan will know what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's.
मेरी माजी गर्लफ्रेंड की चार डिजिट मोबाइल नंबर.
Madhu will probably think that's
Maji girlfriend.
No, but Bumrah, what a spell! Wow. I mean, it wasn't a spell; it was spellbound. Incredible. And I still, if you recollect, guys, I still have the grouse from Bumrah's lack of wickets in the World Test Championship, and I in fact said he should go back to Ranji. But then, what a stellar comeback! I mean, it was sheer bliss to watch him bowl, and those 6 overs is possibly etched in history as one of the best spells ever.
So Rohan, I think you're back again after quite a break. I just wanted to take your perspective on a few things. Like for example, I know I have cribbed a lot about Kohli, right? But I felt that even though he didn't get 100 or whatever, he got a 50 and he got a 44. And I thought he left the ball quite well. So I don't know if you managed to catch the match live, but what was your take on that?
I mean, technically, we have all spoken so much about, the way he is not quite side on enough, if you like, and therefore outside edge, he's like a bunny. Okay, so today I'm just gonna, not really delve a lot deeper into that, but maybe also use a little bit of Hindi, right? I haven't thought about what I'm going to say, लेकिन मैं हिंदी में ऐसे कुछ भी बात करूंगा. So Virat Kohli is such a player, ठीक है, कि हम सब एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि वो हर मैच में वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनाएगा. हर मैच में तो कोई वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड नहीं बना सकता है. वो इतना अच्छा प्लेयर है, वो इतना अच्छा प्लेयर रहा है that even his half centuries are disappointing for us, not because probably he might not have played as well as he could have played. In our minds, he never plays as well as he can play, right? And probably that is why we are all usually dissatisfied. And also the fact that sometimes there is also spillover effect from his, sometimes arguable and mediocre captaincy decisions spilling over into, our, a fan's judgment of a batter's potential. तो वो दोनों world भी mix हो जाता है कई बार, right? So it is, I mean, the less said about Virat Kohli, the better it is. I mean, ideally, I would have said that there are better batters in our squad to even take his place, but are there? I don't really know. I mean, you can't really say what could have happened unless someone else has taken someone else's place. As a captain, he continues to make weird decisions with regards to team selections, sometimes field placements as well, right? But I think eventually you have to give it to him and the entire team management. The results are there; they speak for themselves, right? World Test Championship में हम सिर्फ final में हारे, and I mean we all agree that we could have won that match if not for some of those key captaincy decisions or team management decisions. But the fact that we got to the final also makes the team management and Virat Kohli worthy of credit to them. This is us conceding victory, if you like.
No, the single-minded credit should go because of the pace attack. Okay, that's something which was very un-Indian, so as to say. Okay, to repeatedly build up this relentless pace attack, 4 pacers always, not compromising, not giving into pressure that okay, field an extra batsman and all that. That's one thing. Even under the worst of duress, like people like Sunil Gavaskar continuously saying play 1 extra batsman. He has totally said that, okay, I need my 20 wickets, and to get 20 wickets in a Sena country, I need 4 pacers. Okay. So he's very clear about it. And that is one of the best aspects of his era, so as to say. Not only I would say captaincy is mostly on the field, but off the field, the culture that is developed, that 4 pacer, 5 bowler culture, that's something which has been the turning point, I would say.
So
also the camaraderie, I think. Sorry, I was just going to say,
brilliant
camaraderie, that we get to see off the field from all of the people who are not necessarily within the playing 11. The guys who are also sitting out are also constantly smiling and happy to be a part of a winning unit, although they themselves may not.
Except Ashwin in the last 2 tests.
Possibly. Well, yeah.
So I just want to pivot off what Rohan said, and like we are in a very generous mode and we're talking nicely about Kohli for a change. I also want to talk nicely about another person who always gets trolled. Good old Ravi Shastri. It's a bit unfortunate and hopefully he will recover, but him getting COVID also resulted in a series of memes. There were some people saying that pata nahi kahan daru pi raha tha, or how come only he and his boys, Bharat Tarun and Sridhar got COVID, while none of the others got. God knows where he was and all that. But guys, just look at the man. Under him, we have won one extremely difficult series down under. We came back and played England just after India had recovered. India as a country had recovered from the COVID first wave. We won against England at home, despite losing the first test. We played a couple of rounds of IPL in between as a country. And then here we are in England. And all of this has been bubble to bubble, right? You can imagine the kind of stress that any normal person goes through. And he is traveling with a contingent of 60, 70 people, right? So to keep that spirit going, Rohan, you're bang on target. Really, really kudos to Ravi Shastri. He's kept it nice and nimble and fast.
I think we would need a full-fledged session on this. How the hell is the other Indian players coping up with the bubble from last August? Okay, we can have probably a full 60-minute session on this separately. This is
I really hope that after this whole bubble thing ends, that the team's performance doesn't come crashing down because all of a sudden they are not in a bubble. And then they are all faffing about, oh, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? Oh, so many people. Oh, how am I going to play? I really hope that doesn't happen.
No, one other thing I wanted to in this session focus on what we normally don't do and the whole world tends to ignore are the unsung heroes of every match. Right now, everybody's going to talk about Bumrah. Everybody's obviously going to talk about Shardul. Shardul, of course, I think a lot of us agree he was at least my man of the match easily. I kept texting you guys as well. Unfortunately, he didn't get it. Rohit Sharma also very good. But I want to call out 2 or 3 unsung heroes. Okay, the first, controversially, is Mr. Jadeja, and not even for his bowling, it's for his batting. Okay, I'll tell you why.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the first innings, everybody says, "Arey boss, what is the big deal? He got 10 of 34 or something. Arey, better than this would have been Ashwin." But if you dig deeper, you will see that when he walked in, he was literally a cover for Ajinkya. Because if Ajinkya had walked in, sure shot he would have gotten out, right? So Jadeja held on at least for 10 overs. I saw the score. So he kind of was a circuit breaker for those 10 overs in the first innings. Unfortunately, he got out, and uske baad kya hua? Ajinkya came in and got out anyway. So that is one. Second innings, where what did he do? When Rohit and Pujara got out in that same crazy over, back to back.
Second new ball was due. Yeah,
Second
second
new
new ball
ball,
came in.
I was so nervous as arey boss, ye fir se kya ho gaya? Again Ajinkya. So Ajinkya didn't come. Jadeja comes. He sees us through the end of the day. Bad line. Bats a little bit on the next day. If you add up, right, this guy's played out 20 full overs. He literally saw off the new ball for Ajinkya. Of course, again Ajinkya came and flopped. So for me, batting wise, Jadeja was a big plus, even though it didn't show on the scoreboard. What do you say,
And-
Abhishek?
And of course,
Big revelation, Shaw.
I agree with you fully on that. I think we've discussed it many times, so I don't want to add to it. And add to that, even his bowling analysis, it might seems that, okay, just 2 and 2, 4 wickets on a final day turning track, just 2 wickets. That's not the case. He was constantly bowling on the rough. That was a strategy to, I guess, rough up the ball.
Legal
Okay.
ball tampering.
Yeah. So if it's legal, then it's not tampering. So
Oh my
that's
God.
yeah. So I think that article that came up in the Times today, I think Madhu, you shared me that with a reference to the great Pakistan attack of the 1990s.
90s.
It was, I mean, while I was watching the match, I just remembered the Pakistan team of 1990s, and after that, I think every single discussion there's been a comparison with that, and what the Pakistan team also did in Lord's 1996. I
And
think
then
Mushtaq Ahmed was pitching on the rough on a flat Lord's wicket on the final day, and then roughing up the ball, and then Waqar was attacking the stumps from the other end. That's exactly what I think the strategy of Jadeja was. So those 2 wickets, what he took, they were all, both of them, a peach of a delivery. Okay, typical spinner's dismissal. Hasib Hamid's dismissal would have been probably called the ball of the century. But more than the 2 wickets, he was the guy who constantly pitched the ball in the rough and roughed it up. Okay, that role will always be remembered.
And another unsung hero, and Abhishek, you're going to enjoy this, is good old Umesh, whom we call Umya, right? I mean, the guy, I really don't know how. I mean, even I had forgotten about him. He's become like a constant traveler. He never plays and all of that. He's just, there doing nothing. And somehow he comes back. And again, I'm happy to eat humble pie. I was constantly assuming that he's going to spray the ball down the leg side. What a guy. And like Abhishek, you pointed out, both the innings, Bumrah took 2 wickets to start off with. And then Umesh came back and got 3 wickets.
He came up and made it 3.
Yeah, he made it 3. And let's not forget, in between, a couple of additional bonuses. One is he got the Craig Overton's hand. I'm hoping uska haath toot gaya to acha hai. And of course, he got those runs, man.
See, that's where also Virat's role comes in. You just mentioned that spraying the ball all around, right? So that's where Virat is such a bowler's captain. Okay. I have seen many captains in the past of India, namely Dhoni and even Rahul Dravid. An express pace bowler comes in a test match, sprays the ball a bit, and he's taken off the attack. You cannot do that because you need that fast bowler needs that backing. Everybody can't be that run bhi nahi denge or wicket bhi lenge. Umesh is a impactful wicket-taking bowler. He will rather have an analysis of 3 for 50 in 12 overs rather than 1 for 20 in 10. Okay, so he's that sort of a bowler. Okay, occasionally he will spray the ball around. He'll get hit for 2 fours, but then he'll get you 2 wickets. Okay, that's his specialty, and Virat understands him well, thanks to his stints with RCB. And also RCB, and also Virat being a bowler's captain. That's the best thing that has happened about this team, that we've got a fast bowler's captain, a captain who understands the psyche of the fast bowler.
Actually, for Virat, right? I mean, I think it's fair to say that in all the formats, ODIs, T20s, and Tests, and between batting and bowling, there are 6 combinations possible. clearly for him, the combination which works really well for his personality and style is Test cricket and India bowling. And if in a situation where we have to fight back, or there's a little bit of help at least from either the pitch or the air or even the crowd, he really gets into his element, isn't it?
Because बैटिंग में तो बैट्समैन के ऊपर सब कुछ है ना, कैप्टन कुछ नहीं कर सकता, कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता, you are alone there. वो फील्डिंग में you have things in your hand, the captain can still control the thing. बैटिंग में कोई कुछ नहीं, अजिंका 0 बनाएगा तो विराट कुछ नहीं कर
सकता. But the point is that the stark difference in Kohli as a test bowling captain and Kohli as a T20 captain, for example, when he's bowling or when he's captaining, remarkable differences. He's just clueless in T20s, for example, right? Because of the format, I suppose.
I guess so, because I don't really follow T20 that much in details, because it's too
unless Savera is watching, isn't it?
completely different format hai yaar. So completely different format hai na. Even as a bowler, okay, if I'm going to attack one side of the stumps, right, I might choose to pack one side. I can afford to do that in Test cricket, right? Correct. I can bowl really wide. I can also have a leg side attack and not be afraid that it will be a wide just because it is, it is going from behind the batter. So in Test match cricket, as a bowler, also I have a lot more leeway. Also because in white ball cricket, especially in T20s, you have a lot of fielding restrictions. You have to have that many number of fielders inside all the time. You have to have that many number of fielders, and also you're trying to protect the boundaries, right? There is also a limitation in terms of the number of overs. The ball is wide. It is different. It behaves differently. You are mostly playing under lights. It is, to me, these are so different that they're almost two separate, two different.
No, I agree. I agree. But the point is that there are captains who have done well despite the inherent nature of the differences between the two. One more unsung hero, I mean, not really unsung hero, is moving on. Good old Pujara. Again, first innings, he looked so miserable that I was thinking, boss, this guy is torture, man. I think I even tweeted that this guy is the worst number 3 in the world. I mean, absolute torture to watch. And then what happens? Second innings, if you see the video of him and Rohit after the, in between when BCCI shot a video, it turns out that he was outscoring Rohit in that partnership, right? He was properly belting. So that was very refreshing to see Pujara's approach.
Yeah, so Pujara has been so fluent in the last 2 innings that he has played, the last 2 and 3. Out of the last 3 innings, he got 50 in 2. And he's so brilliant. I think now, for all of us, certainly, he has redeemed himself. So before the 4th test, before the second innings of the 3rd test, we were all saying it is Rahane and Pujara. And to a certain extent, Kohli, but maybe because we were expecting too much from him. But certainly, the axe is about to fall at any point in time on, Pujara and Kohli, Pujara and Rahane. But then Rahane has continued to struggle, whereas Pujara has somehow managed to find, if you like, his feet. Now, another interesting stat was that in the 4th test alone, the number of runs that Shardul has scored is more than the number of runs that Rahane has scored in the entire test series. So you can, that itself puts Pujara's resurgence in perspective. He has looked to play shots. He has obviously been a lot more fluent. He was able to get a lot more, if you like, batting friendly, less bowling friendly conditions as well. So everything sort of put together turned out to be a great package for him. Maybe something for Rahane to learn from, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it is actually going to be good also for Rahane to be given a break at this point in time. I know that, whenever we talk about anybody in our batting lineup, the conversation tends to go towards Rahane because that is one position that I feel we haven't quite nailed yet, right? Vihari and Mayank very, very close to actually breaking through the door, right? So I mean, the 5th test I think is going to be very interesting to see, and I think Madhu and I we had a theory, didn't we, that maybe they have given him a blank check for the entire series, right? Maybe they've said that you get to play all 5 tests irrespective of your performance, and then after the series anyway, control of who is within the squad goes out of the team management's hand and it goes into the selectors' hands. So maybe that is the arrangement. Maybe that is the degree of, if you like, the length of the rope that they are willing to extend. We will see. We'll soon find out. For everybody's sake, if Rahane does play the last test match, I really hope, being a massive fan myself, that he gets 100. Right. So how phenomenal would that be? And that would really, really, vindicate the kind of decision making that we've seen from the team management.
So that brings us to our most favorite topic, team for the next match. So the thing is that all four of us meet, we discuss what the team should be. Then the whole nation discusses what the new team should be. The whole world discusses what the new team should be. And then the guy called Virat Kohli goes and comes in with his own team. So Madhu, what do you think are going to be forget what Virat is going to do. What do you think the next team should be, given all the injuries and all of that?
Yeah. So I think there are some concerns for Bumrah's fitness level, right? And I think Shami is doing better now. So it's a bit of a challenge. So I definitely want Bumrah to play irrespective of his fitness, because he's in that zone right now, that Zen zone. And fifth match will be historic.
Assume he plays. Okay, assume Bumrah plays. Assume Bumrah plays. Then
So Bumrah plays, Shami in for Siraj, Shardul stays, and Umya stays. So that's four of us. And so like Rohan said, I think I've tilted now in favor of Jadeja, the player, versus Ashwin, while all along I've been saying Ashwin. So I'll go with Jadeja. And again, it's a bit philosophical. We're at the end of the fifth test, the final of the series. So therefore, give a long rope to Rahane and hope he scores a century. That's it. So everything else stays the same.
You said that. Now you said that. 100% he'll play Ashwin now. You take my word. Just when you think that. Abhishek, what about you?
I think I agree with that. That's a very good suggestion to bring back Shami in place of Siraj. Nothing. Siraj has had a brilliant series, but I think after 4 tests, I think we have to rotate. Okay, he looked a bit tired and has to be. Anybody can be after playing 4 tests. And the point which you mentioned, that irrespective of Bumrah's fitness, I would like to play him. That's a bit of a risk, because if he breaks down in the middle of a test, that's not going to help, no matter what his momentum is. Okay, so if he clutches his hamstring and breaks down or something happens, so they have to be very, very, very careful. Okay, so the workload that he has taken, Jasprit Bumrah has taken over the last 4 test matches has been phenomenal. Okay, I think it's as good as Jimmy Anderson. So that's something which they have to be very, very careful about. Whoever Bharat Arun and Bumrah himself,
all in isolation.
All in isolation. But the thing is that Shardul is certainty. I would say we are so good. Our pace attack is so good now. Shardul is a certainty. Umesh is a certainty. Take any combination for the other 2 fast bowlers. Okay, based on fitness. Okay, so I think we'll be good at that. And Rahane has to go. There's no point in this. I don't buy this blank check theory. Okay, I think 4 tests is enough. And I think it'll be good if Mayank comes in, because that will also set us up for the next series. Okay, Mayank or Vihari, whoever comes in, we have to invest long term now. Okay, so it's very important that they get that exposure in a very crucial test match at number 5. And so that'll augur well for the future.
I think what's happening is, I think Rohit, what I hear is Rohit's knee injury may be a bit more serious than what we imagine. So most likely Mayank will be his replacement. Maybe if instead of Ajinkya, you're right, Abhishek. I think while Vikram Rathore was holding strong face, they may replace him with Vihari. And then the bowling.
What about Pujara's ankle? I mean, that's something which got rotated and all that. So
possible.
Is he going to be okay? Was he fielding on the last day? I don't think he was fielding on the last day, because I think
Pujara wasn't fielding and Rohit wasn't fielding. Both of them.
Rohit wasn't fielding. So Rohit, I know, Pujara wasn't fielding. So that's also a question mark there. So that solves all our problems. Then we can have Mayank playing as well as Vihari playing. And Rahane. Then you replace Rahane with Sky. So Mumbai lobby will also not mind, because a Mumbai player replaces a Mumbai player. So that's also
tell me one thing.
Good.
We are coming to the end of the show. So I want to talk a bit something very controversial, right? Virat Kohli's personality. There's this big talk about him doing that whole pungi thing to the Barmy Army and all. What do you guys feel about that?
I mean, nobody minds. I mean, Barmy Army is cool about it, so who's anybody to talk about it?
Well, I'm
Somebody
not
made a
going to
meme.
overanalyze that. I'm just gonna
I think
let it go. Doesn't really
I
matter.
think it's
He
just
did this,
banter.
so what?
Yeah.
It's just banter. I mean, that's what it should be like. I mean, what's wrong in that?
The only good thing which came out of it was there's a meme of Virat Kohli doing this and Mushfiq doing the Nagin
Barmy-
thing.
That's rubbish. But Barmy Army tweeted that Virat, do you want to join the Barmy Army? So that's what banter is all about.
Yeah. They took it in the right
So,
spirit. And I mean, he didn't do
they
anything vulgar or anything. I think it's all fine.
He didn't do anything vulgar. If he had gestured in a vulgar way or abuse, then it would have been a different thing. There was nothing controversial about it.
So now we are at the end of our show. So, since we are all being sponsored by Abhishek, I think let's do the necessary sponsorship plug. Let us all, I will only go for him. The others can please show his book. Guys, our friend Abhishek Ghosh, whom you all know, is a super duper avid traveler, storyteller. He has for the years bored us with his stories. He's written a lot of blogs. He's chased us. We never read any of it. But guess what? That did not deter him. He has gone ahead and compiled all of that into a fabulous book. It's out there. It's called The Heart Travels, which incidentally also is his blog. It's published. There are links that we'll put up in this link. Please buy it. Trust me.
Please
Fantastic
go ahead and buy
stories to
it.
hear.
Buy your copy. Yeah. And next time probably we'll have some more cricket stories as well in future.
We must do The Heart Travels, the cricket version of all the cricket matches and, your take and
of
our
course.
take on it.
That's definitely coming up in future maybe. But for the
So
time being, enjoy the
final
travels.
word from all of you on the next match. What do you think will happen? Madhu, what's your prediction?
3-1 India.
Not bad. Abhishek, you?
I don't know. I mean, it's very tough to predict this team. Okay, so you don't know which India will turn up, whether the Leeds version or the London version. So
I'll have the last say. Rohan, you?
Well, I have three options, and you can take a pick. It'll either be 3-1. 1-3, or it'll be 2-all, or it will be
it'll be 2-2.
2-1 with the tie.
That's it.
2-2. Yeah,
2-1.
2-2. Only one of these three is possible now.
Either 2-all, 1-3, or 1-2.
So here's my thing. For sure, I think India will lose simply because the win just somehow tends to take away a lot of their energy, right? They just feel like they've given it all. And it's at the end of a really long tour. And a lot of them will also now be switching into the IPL mode. And I think Ravi Shastri not being there, I just think they will have a little bit of, we've done it. We've done our best.
And remember what happened after Gaba, right? After the famous Gaba win came the massive Chennai drubbing straight away after that, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And the whole
again, the test and then the test matches again in the north. So we've never done well at and Old Trafford we've never won. And I guess Rohan, it's going to get cold, right?
Yeah. So
onwards.
actually we are actually in the middle of another, actually not a mini heat wave, but a proper heat wave. I think it's been like 30 degrees in London. But up north also, in Manchester also, it's been mid to high 20s. So it has been
very much.
The lead up to the test match will be dry, but it is going to start raining and the temperature is going to fall. So there might be some overcast skies. But because the lead up to the match has been dry, I really hope that we go in with Ashwin as well.
Ashwin.
Let's see how it goes.
Good stuff, guys. Chalo, good to catch up with all of you. Good luck once again to Abhishek on the Heart Travels. And fingers crossed for the next test. Keep watching our cricket channel and have a nice week ahead. We'll catch up soon. Bye.
You guys, bye.
Bye.
See ya.